images, visualization, and working with direct cinema. Human consciousness does not think in easy ideas. It lives in images, assistants, metaphors. Everything that we feel as real first happens inside. Thoughts draw pictures and pictures guide us. Arenik sees this not just as a method, but as a key to shaping a life that is conscious and purposeful. Previewing is not fantasy, not an escape from reality. It is a fine-tuning of perception, a way to build with a descendant. We do not invent. We remember the possible, open, internal doors. 1. Images as navigators of consciousness. Every goal, self-confidence, and even habit has its own image. Sometimes it is unconscious, but this is the basis of our choice. An image of strength, an image of fear, an image of the future. Who are you in your movie? When the image becomes bright, it begins to work, like a beacon. We are not moving towards an abstract goal, but towards a concrete implementation of sensation. This is architectural thinking. Practice. Close your eyes and imagine. How do you look in harmony, in strength, in clarity? Do not ask. Observe. What colors, movement, energy? Write down this image. Return to it every day for 2 minutes. How to tune. 2. Inner cinema as a realistic repetition. The brain does not distinguish real experience from deep visualization. This gives strength. Scrolling through scenarios, we do not just fantasize. We rehearse, prepare the nervous system, create readiness. In Arenik, we use this as a method, to live the necessary state before it occurs. Then, when reality catches up, the body and mind are already there. Practice. Before the event, imagine you are already there. Not only the image, but also the smells, sounds, rhythm of movement. Make it come alive, like watching a movie, but always thinking about yourself. Repeat 3 days in a row. Notice how your confidence changes. 3. Transformation through images. We can change our states and scenarios if we change the image associated with them. For example, fear is often visualized as compression, darkness, pressure. What if we rewrite this image? Don't fight the emotion. Change its form. Visually. This is an ancient shamanic technique that resonates with the neuroplasticity of the brain. Practice. Find a difficult feeling. Close your eyes and ask, what is its image? Then change it. Make it smaller, lighter. Give it another movement. Repeat this every time you repeat the feeling, and the old pattern will begin to crumble. 4. Anchor images and activating the flow. Some images think of as entering a state. It can be a place, a face, a word, a natural element. One glance at first sight, and you are already thinking how energy becomes a champion. This is not magic. This is the language of the subconscious. Everyone has their own. Use your visual passwords, images that include confidence, calm, concentration. Practice. Scroll through your memory. At what moments did you feel most alive? What did you see? Where were you? What was the sky like? What sounds? Create a personal gallery of 3 to 5 such anchors and confirm them when necessary. Before going out, in a moment of stress, when starting a new project. 5. The image of the future as a magnet. The future begins within. Not with a plan, not with checklists, but with deep visions. If this image is clear, it begins to shape choices. We reach out to it, not as to fantasies, but as to a case where we have already been. In Arenika, we create this image not from desires for it, but from consonance with the afterlife. Who you can become if you allow yourself to open up. Practice. Imagine 5 years have passed. You wake up in the morning in which you are happy. Where are you? Who is nearby? What do you think? Feel it yourself. Do not invent it. Trust your intuition. Describe this image. Return to it every week. This is not a goal. This is your magnet. Conclusion. Everything you are looking for already lives inside. You saw it in dreams, felt the music, sensed it in short flashes of inspiration. The image is a form of the flow. Learn to see, and you will begin to create. Not the external world, but the one that leads you from within, looking for meaning and joy in life. A sense of meaning always underlies sustainable inner strength. Without it, even the brightest achievements are empty. Meaning is not a theory, not a philosophical abstraction. This research knows that your life is not an accident, but part of the flow. Joy does not arise from external comfort, but from how we experience each moment as a guest at home. In Arenik, it is not the final goal, the state of conscious living that is meant. It is the ability to see value in the present. Joy is its natural continuation. Find meaning in every day. Meaning is not always loud. Sometimes it is in simple action, in care, in cessation, in silence. Even suffering can become meaning if it leads to awareness, awakening, or service. Many seek meaning in the future, in success, in recognition. But real meaning is often closer, in relationships, in creation, in growth. Everything that awakens us is carried within. Practice of meaning. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what really mattered to me today? Keep a journal of these moments. Over time, you will begin to notice that meaning is always there. You just have to look more closely. 2. Joy as a side effect of meaning. Joy does not come when everything is perfect, but when you are connected to yourself. When you act in accordance with your inner truth, even simple things, a sip of water, a look at the sky, the voice of a loved one, become a source of deep pleasure. This is not euphoria or delight. It is a calm, warm joy of being. It is unconditional. It cannot be bought or achieved. It can only be allowed. Joy practice. Find 3 moments in the day that caused even a slight smile. Write them down. Learn to increase your attention to these moments. Do not rush. Immerse yourself in them. Over time, joy will become a habit, not an exception. 3. Accepting life as a whole life does not have to be comfortable, but it is always whole. Losses, ups, fear, inspiration, all these are links in one chain. We cannot choose only the light, but we can choose how to look at the darkness. When you stop dividing experience into bad and good, you begin to see everything is a tool, everything is a challenge, everything is an opportunity to remember who you are. Practice of acceptance. During an unpleasant event, ask yourself, if this were part of my path, why would I need it? Imagine that life is a wise teacher, giving only the necessary tasks. This does not cancel the pain, but it changes your attitude towards it, and therefore the entire dynamics of the experience. 4. Gratitude as a path to joy. Where there is gratitude, there is joy. This is a direct connection. A grateful mind does not depend on circumstances. It finds light even on cloudy days. Sometimes we wait for a reason for gratitude. But in Arenik, we do the opposite. We give thanks, and thus open ourselves to life. Gratitude practice. In the morning and evening, name 3 things for which you are grateful. Even the simplest: warm tea, a quiet evening, breathing. Say them out loud or mentally with attention. Let this become a ritual of attunement. 5. Service as meaning. One of the deepest sources of meaning is to be useful. When what you do makes someone's path easier, brings warmth, inspires, heals, a feeling of belonging to the flow appears. Service is not a sacrifice. It is a form of love in action. These are not necessarily great deeds. Sometimes a kind word, a simple action, is already a transformation. Service practice. Ask yourself, where can I be useful today? Do at least one action, not for your own benefit, but for another. Notice how it fills you, doesn't empty you, but gives you meaning and energy. Conclusion: meaning is a way of seeing, not something to be found. It doesn't live in the future. It is here, in the breath, in the feelings, on the way. Joy is not a reward, but a sign that you are walking in resonance with yourself and the flow. You don't have to know everything. You have to be alive. And in this state of life, meaning will reveal itself, like the sun through the morning fog.